Madam Speaker, Madam Vice President. No president has ever said those words from this podium. No president has ever said those words. And it's about time.
Yes, it is. Vice President Kamala Harris and Speaker Nancy Pelosi made history Wednesday as the first women to preside over a joint session of Congress. This striking image of Harris walking to the chamber was captured by NBC's Frank Thorpe. But with the 100-day benchmark behind her, she's got a lot on her plate. And so here to talk about it and about Harris's agenda and more is Symone Sanders, a senior advisor and chief spokesperson to the Vice President of the United States. Symone, thank you very much for coming to the Sunday Show.
Thank you for having me today, Jonathan. Always good to be with you.
All right, so let's talk about what is on the vice president's plate. And there's a lot. There is encouraging communities to get vaccines, addressing root causes of migration in Mexico and the Northern Triangle countries, heading a worker labor union task force, leading effort to increase access to broadband internet, chairing the National Space Council. It would appear, at least if you look at the polling and you look at the news, that the priority is what's happening at the border and particularly what the vice president is charged with, and that is with the Northern Triangle countries. Let's have a listen to what Vice President Harris had to say on the Northern Triangle, about the Northern Triangle on Good Morning America.
It will not be fixed overnight. Look, if this were easy, would have been fixed a long time ago. It's not a new issue. But we are prepared to make the investment and to get in there for the long haul, to do what is necessary to address the reasons people flee.
So Symone, does the vice president have a sort of an internal timetable for when she would like to see progress happening within the Northern Triangle countries?
Well, first, Jonathan, let me say you really laid out a robust number of things that the vice president is engaging on. And in addition to all of the things you laid out, obviously, her priorities are, in fact, the priorities of the administration. So that also means getting the American Jobs Plan passed and the American Families Plan, which is why she was out in Baltimore and Cincinnati, Ohio on Friday, touting those plans, and will be in Milwaukee next week as well as Providence, Rhode Island. So on the issue of the Northern Triangle, you asked the question of progress, and it's been a little over a month since the president asked Vice President Harris to take on leading diplomatic efforts in the Northern Triangle region and with Mexico, a job that he too did when he was vice president. And we have seen progress. Just last week, the United States committed $310 million for urgent relief in the region, and that had everything to do with addressing food insecurity, beefing up the borders, coordination. DOJ is working to coordinate with Guatemala and folks in the Northern Triangle region to curb smuggling and human trafficking. The Department of Commerce has committed to do a virtual trade mission under Secretary Gina Raimondo. So progress is, in fact, happening. Last week, Vice President Harris met with the president of Guatemala, and she also met with civil society leaders or community-based organization leaders, if you will, in Guatemala, so that she is not only engaging with the government, but also engaging with the people on the ground, because this is going to take a holistic approach. Lastly, Jonathan, I'll note she's also met with foundation CEOs, spearheaded bringing that group together by the Ford Foundation, Darren Walker, and she will be meeting, having additional meetings over the next couple of weeks, a virtual bilab with Mexico on May 7th. So there is a lot of work being done. But again, as the vice president said, this is not going to change overnight. But we have seen progress, and we will continue to see progress. And I think that's something we can all be glad about.
And reported in the Washington Post today is that there could be planning for a trip to one of the Northern Triangle countries as early as June. Can you confirm that?
That is correct, Jonathan. I can confirm that. The vice president is very much so looking forward to traveling to Mexico City and to Guatemala sometime in June. I don't have dates I can share with you yet, but this trip will be important, and it will be the first of many trips. But this work is important, engaging in the region, both in person and virtually. She is speaking and addressing the Council of Americas, also upcoming this week, virtually addressing them. This is important. Our diplomatic efforts are critical to success in what's happening at the U.S. southern border. There are many pieces to this issue. There's a piece of what's immediately happening at the border. And I would like to note that the number of children in CBP custody has gone down. The amount of time that children are spending in CBP custody has gone down, and they're moving them into HHS facilities. But we know there's more we need to do. So that's a piece of the issue. But then there's also the vice president's piece. So we're working hand in glove and trying to make progress every day, Jonathan.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.